On the night of July 29, 1966, gunshots shattered the silence in military barracks across Nigeria. Soldiers who once trained and marched together suddenly turned against one another. A head of state disappeared into the darkness, and by sunrise, the nation had crossed a point of no return. This is the shocking, untold story of the 1966 counter-coup, the event that pushed Nigeria toward its darkest chapter. Before we begin, if you love deep, factual Nigerian history documentaries like this, please hit the subscribe button. Your one click helps this channel grow, and it motivates us to keep creating stories that preserve our history. Thank you. Nigeria became an independent nation on October 1st, 1960. Streets filled with celebrations, national flags waved proudly, and the world looked at the young country with hope. But beneath the surface, Nigeria was already wrestling with deep ethnic, cultural, and political divisions. The North, the East, and the West, each region had its own identity, its own fears, and its own political interests. The First Republic, led by Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, struggled with corruption, rigged elections, and intense rivalry between political parties. By 1965, the Western region descended into chaos. Political violence known as Operation Wedi turned the streets into battlegrounds. Houses burned, citizens fled, and the nation seemed unable to control the crisis. Many people, including younger officers in the military, felt that Nigeria was heading toward collapse. Then came January 15, 1966. Just before dawn, a group of idealistic young majors, including Chukwuma Kadunanziogwu and Emmanuel Ifeajuna, launched Nigeria's first-ever military coup. They believed they were saving the country from corruption and political failure. But their actions changed Nigeria forever. The coup led to the assassination of key political leaders. Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa was killed. The Northern Premier, Sir Ahmadu Bello, was killed. The Western Premier, Chief Ladoke Akintola, was killed. Several senior military officers were also assassinated. Because most of the victims were Northern leaders, many Northerners believed the coup was an ethnically motivated attempt to eliminate Northern political dominance. Even though the coup plotters included people from different regions, the perception became widespread that it was an Igbo coup. And in politics, perception is powerful, sometimes more powerful than truth. Although the coup succeeded in killing top officials, it failed to take full control of the government. The responsibility to restore order fell on Major General Johnson Thomas Umunakwe Aguiyi-Ironsi, the most senior surviving officer. He became Nigeria's head of state on January 16, 1966. Ironsi tried to stabilize the country. He suspended political parties, banned demonstrations, and attempted to calm ethnic tensions. But then, on May 24, 1966, he introduced Decree No. 34, the Unification Decree. This decree abolished Nigeria's federal system and replaced it with a unitary structure. Ironsi hoped it would unify Nigeria under one administrative government. Instead, many Northerners believed it was a plan to centralize power and place the country under Igbo control. Resentment grew rapidly. In many northern towns, anti-Igbo riots broke out in May and June of 1966. Hundreds of civilians were attacked. Tension increased across the army. Meanwhile, rumors spread among northern soldiers that the January coup plotters, who were mostly Igbo officers, were not punished severely. Anger was building, quietly but dangerously. On the night of July 28, 1966, that anger exploded. Junior Northern officers began coordinating a revenge coup, a counter-coup. Their goals were simple but deadly: remove Ironsi from power, avenge the deaths of Northern leaders, and reclaim control of the Nigerian military. Just after midnight, soldiers mobilized in different barracks. Plans turned into action. Around 1 a.m. on July 29th, gunfire erupted. In Ibadan, General Ironsi was visiting Lieutenant Colonel Adekunle Fajuyi, the military governor of the Western region. Suddenly, mutinous soldiers stormed the residence. Ironsi and Fajuyi were overpowered, beaten, and forcibly taken away. When the soldiers tried to separate Fajuyi from Ironsi, he refused to abandon his guest, choosing to die alongside him. Both men were executed that night. Their bodies remained missing for months.
chaos spread across the country. In Lagos, Igbo officers were targeted and killed inside the barracks. At Abeokuta, fighting broke out between soldiers of different ethnic backgrounds. In Kaduna, officers loyal to Ironsi were attacked as the mutiny intensified. The Nigerian military, once seen as a symbol of discipline and unity, had broken along ethnic lines. Trust had vanished. Nigeria was collapsing from within. By the morning of July 29th, General Ironsi was dead. But a new problem emerged. The coup plotters had no leader ready to take over the country. Nigeria was effectively without a government. Communications had broken down, command structures were destroyed, and the country stood dangerously close to total disintegration. Eventually, the coup plotters turned to a young officer, 31-year-old Major General Yakubu Gowon. He was northern but a Christian. He was respected, yet not seen as threatening. A compromise figure. On August 1st, 1966, Gowon addressed the nation. He promised to restore peace, protect citizens, and rebuild the trust that had torn the country apart. But the wounds were already too deep. After the counter-coup, violence against Igbo civilians intensified in the north. Between August and October 1966, thousands fled from northern cities, seeking safety in the eastern region. Communities broke apart. Train stations, lorry parks, and roads were filled with terrified families, carrying whatever belongings they could save. The sense of unity Nigeria once hoped for was gone. Regional leaders struggled to reach a political solution. Meetings were held, agreements were attempted, but trust had evaporated. On May 30th, 1967, less than a year after the counter-coup, the eastern region declared independence as the Republic of Biafra, and on July 6, 1967, Nigeria descended into civil war, a war that lasted 30 months, a war that claimed over 1 million lives, a war that reshaped the nation forever. The 1966 counter-coup was not just a military rebellion. It was a breaking point, the moment when fear overcame unity, when suspicion overcame trust, and when Nigeria slid toward one of the darkest chapters in its history. The lessons of 1966 remain with us today, that a nation divided by mistrust cannot stand, and that the cost of political violence is always greater than anyone imagines. If you found this documentary informative, please subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us grow and allows us to continue producing detailed, well-researched Nigerian history documentaries. Thank you for watching, and thank you for keeping our history alive.